Okay, hands down, this is the best vision concept car I've seen in years. And in a few seconds, you're going to agree with me and even go further as to agree with every single second of detail mentioned in this video. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So real quick, if you haven't yet seen the official trailer, what the heck are you waiting for? That is already reason enough to believe me. But right now we're going to talk about some really interesting things and questions you may have about this concept and break it down as simply as possible. Let's go. First off, the CX was built purely as a design exercise by Chevrolet's performance studio team in Warren, Michigan. The brief was simple but almost ridiculous. Make the most exhilarating driving experience possible, road or track, while keeping it undeniably Corvette. So they started with what makes a Corvette instantly recognizable. The pointed, ready-to-pounce nose, the quad taillights, and even a chine line, borrowed from Aerodynamics, that splits the car's upper and lower halves like a stealth aircraft's fuselage. Now, if you're seeing this, you'll agree the result is absolutely breathtaking. It looks like it's straining against the ground, eager to take off. And then you get to the roof, and this is where it stops being just another concept and starts feeling almost alive. Because when you walk toward it, the power-operated top lifts itself clear, like a runway crew prepping for launch. At 41 inches tall, it's nearly 9 inches lower than the C8 Stingray your neighbor babies every Sunday morning. So getting inside isn't just a step, it's a drop into the cockpit. And a reminder in case you're wondering, there's no trunk for golf clubs or weekend luggage here. This is a car that's unapologetically about the drive, not really the errands or groceries getting or whatever you get. Inside, the world tilts even further into the surreal. As you look in, two deeply sculpted inferno red seats look right back at you, and there's no telling who's calling, but you know there's a voice that is. That thing is so ready for zero-gravity maneuvers. Screens are practically non-existent here too, just a handheld-sized display mounted inside a yoke-style steering wheel surrounded by physical buttons you can actually feel without guessing, which means the windshield becomes your main interface, projecting every scrap of performance data in a wraparound head-up display. That's probably what it's supposed to mean when you hear car advertisers mention immersive experience, yeah. Now, this next bit might not really come good to some of you, but here it is anyway. Just when you're wondering what kind of V8 they've squeezed in, here's the curveball. There isn't one. The CX is fully electric, with 4 motors pumping out a combined 2,000 horsepower to all 4 wheels. To be exact, a 90 kilowatt-hour battery sits deep in the chassis, and parts of its structure, like the wing-shaped control arms, peek through the sculpted bodywork. To put it simply, you don't get the rumble of an old-school small block here, but you do get the kind of acceleration that feels like a silent punch to the chest, which is also a good thing. Anyway, the design isn't just for looks either. The entire lower half of the car is shaped to move air in ways most road cars never will, feeding massive diffusers, channeling it out the rear, and working with a deployable rear wing to keep it pinned down. And then there's the suction system. Yes, suction. Like the Wild McMurtry Sparling, the CX uses integrated fans to literally pull itself to the ground, generating grip that really, I would say, defies logic and makes cornering feel almost unnatural in the best possible way. But GM didn't stop there. They built a second version, the CX.R Vision Gran Turismo, a full race spec monster to celebrate 25 years of Corvette racing. As with the CX, everything's dialed up here too. Aggressive aero, massive rear wing, lower ride height, lighter body, and the iconic black and yellow livery ties it to Corvette's racing history. However, the CX.R isn't fully electric. Mid-mounted in it is a twin-turbo 2.0-liter V8 screaming to 15,000 RPM like a Formula One engine. On its own, it delivers 900 horsepower. So, with the 3 electric motors engaged, it climbs right back to 2,000. It even runs on renewable e-fuel, proving this thing isn't just about fantasy numbers. It's playing with future racing tech in a serious way. Now, will any of this hit production? Officially no. Both cars are pure concepts, but the CX name itself is raising eyebrows for me. If the current C8 is followed by a C9, then CX could cheekily be hinting at a 10th gen Corvette somewhere down the road. Coincidence? Maybe. But it's the kind of breadcrumb car enthusiasts can't help but follow. For now though, your only chance to own either of these is in Gran Turismo 7, where they'll be drivable later this month. It's not the same as feeling that suction system glue you to the tarmac in real life, but it might just be the closest we get for years. And yet, with concepts like this laying the groundwork for Corvette's design future, you can't help but wonder, if this is just the warm-up, what on earth comes next?